Hello everyone, this is Object-Oriented Programming tool with Java, course code ICT 2104. Mode, it's a take-home practical assessment. Here the instruction are, prepare a 10 presentation of this work, separate presentation for each of the questions and upload it on YouTube. Question 1. I read about the events, event handling, the event delegation mode, event listeners, and event adapters in Java. As I prepare the PowerPoint presentation, so we are going to first look at events in Java. So we are going to see what is an event. JavaScript interaction with HTML is handled through events that occur when the user or the browser manipulates a page. When the page loads, it's called an event. For example, when the user clicks a button when the user clicks a button, that click to is an event. Other examples includes like pressing any key, closing a window, resizing a window, etc. And developers can use these events to execute JavaScript coded responses, which cause buttons to close windows, messages to be displayed to users, data to be validated, and virtually any other type of response imaginable. So our next slide is all about event handling. Event handling is the mechanism that controls the event and decides what should happen if an event occurs. So this mechanism has the code which is known as event handler, and that is executed when an event occurs. Java uses the delegation event mode to handle the events. Event handlers can be used to handle and verify user input, user actions, and browser actions. Things that should be done every time a page loads. Things that should be done when the page is closed. Action that should be performed when a user clicks a button are all about event handling. So in this model, a source generates an event and forwards it to one or more listeners. The listener waits until it receives an event. Once it receives the event, it is processed by the listener and returns it. The IU elements are able to delegate the processing of an event separate function. So as here I can see the diagram illustrates how this event works. So that's all about the event delegation mode. Event listeners in JavaScript. So what is an event listener in JavaScript? An event listener is a procedure in JavaScript that waits for an event to occur. The simple example of an event is a user clicking the mouse or pressing any key on the keyboard. The listener is programmed to react to an input or signal by calling event handlers. So our last PowerPoint presentation is all about the Java adapters. Adapter pattern acts as a connector between two incompatible interfaces that otherwise cannot be connected directly. An adapter wraps an existing class with a new interface so that it becomes compatible with the client's interface. The adapter patterner is often used to make existing classes work with others without modifying their source code. Adapter patterns use a single class or the adapter class to join functionalities of independent or incompatible interfaces. So that's all about events, event handling, the event delegation mode, event listeners, and event adapters as they are used in JavaScript. So I submit. I remain Bowers.